Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of FP GEAR GAB. Today we're here with Aridonis, who you may remember from the last episode of GEAR GAB where he was the host interviewing Zach Saunders. Well, today we decided to switch things up and we decided to give him some guitars and let him play them and let him tell us about these lovely guitars. So Aridonis, how are you doing today?
I'm so rad, Miles. I'm in such good shape mentally.
Right on.
Here.
We
awesome.
we love to hear that here at Fusion Presents. That's great to hear. So today we got Fender Duo-Sonics. So I just want to preface this by saying I know nothing about these guitars. I don't know anything about the wiring, this one's got a different body shape than this one's smaller than this one. So we're going to run through what the differences are between these guitars and learn a little bit more about them as well. So yeah, let's dive into it. Aridonis, what are we working with here with these two guitars?
So we got two here. This one is my personal dinged up workhorse Duo-Sonic. This is a 1963 Fender Duo-Sonic from back in the proverbial day. And this is a modern built-in the Fender Mexico factory Player Series Duo-Sonic. So believe it or not, they're both trying to accomplish the same thing with what they are and why they were built. So I figured it'd be kind of fun to kind of go over the differences between them and how they've changed in the last like 60 years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
60,
1963, and honestly, that guitar it's beautiful. I mean, the tortoise, the off-white. I mean, I'm guessing
it was white once.
Really?
It was
white?
It was, yeah, and then it just kind of fades from time. This is a nitrocellulose lacquer. Ooh. So it's not super safe to apply if you're a factory worker. So you don't see it as often nowadays on this sort of style of guitar. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine you're a child in 1963, and you're like, I want a guitar, and I'm gonna learn how to play it, but my hands are so small, right? What am I gonna do? So you pick up one of these bad boys right here, the Duo-Sonic. So this is a 22-inch scale, which is quite a bit shorter than your typical like a Strat. It's like a 25.5-inch scale, which is out here. And so it's just super comfortable neck, and it's kind of designed again for the smaller beginner hand, and it's got just real basic controls, one volume, one tone, and the pickup selector, and this is what you would be learning on. And then the idea is, and then I'll go get myself a Strat down the road. It's even the body shape is kind of like a smaller Strat body shape almost. It's kind of like this is little Jimmy's Strat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Before he moves on to the big Strat.
Exactly. Yeah.
Cool. Well, I am dying to hear how this thing sounds.
Yeah. So I'm gonna start on the neck pickup right here, and.
Nice. It's kind of got Stratty vibes to it, but you can definitely kind of hear the difference.
Yeah, it's still a single coil pickup setup, right? But the Duo-Sonics are a little bit lower output. This one I modified it a little bit just to kind of work with my particular workflow. So but typically a Duo-Sonic pickup is going to be pretty low output, and that's just kind of how they vibe. And then here, let's hear the neck and bridge together.
I'm really liking the sounds coming out of that thing.
Yeah, man.
And it's supposed to be, it's so interesting. It was supposed to be a children's guitar.
Well, it kind of speaks to the differences that in how they build things back then, right? So it was it was just the same factory that they built everything in. It's like nowadays, sort of an American built guitar is kind of a treasured thing that you got to pay Mondo bucks for. But back then it was everybody's This is where you make a guitar. You make it in the same factory, and so it's kind of they put the same sort of care and attention into it now as they did, with all their other guitars. So this is kind of the build quality is right there, the sound's right there, same woods and everything. So
nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's hear that bridge pickup then.
Yeah. So this one is quite a bit hotter, just because that's kind of how I designed this guitar for myself. You'll also notice that the pickup selector is backwards.
Yeah.
It's so yeah, like when I'm in the bridge pickup, I use that for like rhythm playing, and then I use this for lead playing, and for a solo I usually want a little bit more volume. So I kind of set them up so this one's further into the body, this one's higher up, kind of gives me a little bit more. So I'm just a preface when you're like, wow, this is so much hotter sounding. So it's like,
oh yeah. Very nice. So when you're using this guitar, what kind of, like, where would you use a guitar like this? Like when were you like, okay, I'm gonna reach for the Duo-Sonic?
weirdly enough, I use this thing for everything. Like this is my main like workhorse guitar. It's got so much versatility to it. Like I was using it on like a country session the other day where I was Skyping in with an artist in Saskatoon, and this kind of covers all of it. I used it in my like touring indie rock band all around Canada, and it's kind of been my stable everything guitar, because it's like between this and this and this, those are three totally different tones. which is weird, because you even on like normally it's kind of between three pickups you're getting three different tones, but it's such a wide variety. I think it has something to do with how this neck pickup is positioned.
Yeah, because it's like slightly further in than
like on a Strat it would be like up here. It's kind of somewhere between where the middle and neck pickup would be, and so it gives you this really kind of buttery tone, but it still has a little bit of like high
and
bite
then
to it.
It's also angled, like this bridge pickup is on a Strat, but it's
exactly
at the neck.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about these, but they just kind of they're kind of an unsung hero in the Fender guitar line, where they've got this crazy versatility, and I think people again are just kind of put off by them maybe compared to a Strat, because it's like they're like, oh well, it's like a kid's guitar or whatever, but it's like, dude, like this things are rad. So here, let me pull up the other one and we'll kind of go over what's different. You want to mute
Sure, I'll mute you.
Yeah. Boop boop boom.
You're good.
Pull out this guy.
For those of you who are wondering, we are using the Fender Tone Master.
Yeah.
As our amp.
The Deluxe. So this one, the Player Series, very kind of similar in a lot of ways, but there's a few inherent problems with this thing, as lovely as it is and how much it can do. This one kind of corrects a few of those. So for one, that 22-inch scale that I mentioned earlier is just a little bit too short.
Yeah. It's like
just a little bit. So one of the drawbacks from that is when you're using the same gauge of strings, the tension kind of gets a little bit weird. So I have to use like 11s on this to make it feel like I'm playing like a 10.
Really?
Yeah. So they kind of address that with this by making it a 24-inch scale. Also, the bridge on it, it's kind of like an old style Tele bridge, so it's got these three saddles for 6 strings that you kind of have to play with the tension of them, and you don't ever really get them right. With this one, they kind of added 6 saddles, so you can, I'll just look at that, so you can kind of adjust each string individually, like get the action and intonation set how you want it. Made it a little bit longer so that you can use, like a set of 9s, and still get a real kind of slinky feel out of it.
Yeah.
And and then just
cool. Let's hear it.
Yeah.
Let's hear. Let's compare it to this magnificent piece.
Yeah. So this is the neck pickup.
Very vibey, very
Right?
smooth.
And a little bit lower output too.
Yeah,
like,
than that one.
yeah, than that one. Yeah. So, but in a lot of cases, I prefer a lower output just because the amp isn't working as hard. You're not hitting the amp and driving it quite as quickly. You get a little bit more clean sort of vibe out of it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of one thing. Here's the middle position. I'll just play the same thing.
Yeah.
Right? And it adds in a little bit of chime.
Yeah, just a
You know?
little bit of chime.
Yeah.
By the way, there's a slight mint green action thing going on the pickguard that
Yeah.
I'm really digging.
Right? It's sick. Fender. I mean, they've been doing it for 1,000 years. They've been making guitars,
Yeah.
I think. So they've really matched up their color combinations, right?
Yeah.
No, better than any other company, in my opinion. Some companies get it wrong.
Yeah, I mean, as shown, right? We got
Exactly.
like that color scheme.
I like how they're almost inverted from each other too.
It's too, like slightly off white
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
pickguard and slightly off white in the body.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let's hear that bridge pickup now.
Yeah. So here's that same thing with a little bit of chime to it. That's got like a punk rock feel to it, actually. Like
Definitely. And I feel like these guitars, they would be used well in like an emo setting. Well,
Oh,
right?
totally,
Like
yeah,
the kind
yeah.
of like the jangly kind of
yeah,
like
exactly.
style.
Throw just a little bit of gain on this bridge pickup, and you're dealing with some stuff.
Some stuff. Very nice. I like it. I mean, personally, I like what you did with this one. It sounds like, I mean, this one, it's like you said, a bit higher output and a lot of versatility with this one. Because like this
Totally.
one, it's like, okay, neck pickup, middle, bridge, and like you can kind of tell it's the same guitar. But this one, you can't really. It's not exactly like that.
Yeah, it's. I did a couple of things to kind of make it feel that way. Though I will say it's got just again because of that shorter scale length. Maybe I find the tuning stability to be not quite as there. The intonation isn't quite as there just because of the sort of older bridge technology and whatever. And so it's like, I was like, oh, well, I'll just change the tuners or change the bridge. And then I'm like, but now, and now I'm performing some sacrilegious thing on a 60-year-old antique, relic of another time. And so I love this guitar, but there's a few things about it that I'm just like, I want to change, but don't feel right doing. Or it's like when I pick up one of these, I'm like, man, I don't like the bridge. Slap a new bridge on there. New pickups, whatever. Let's rock and roll. Because they're not crazy expensive, and you can just get, pick one up and just rock and roll right out of the box. You know?
And that was going to be my question. Was
Yeah.
like how so. There's things you would change on this one.
Yeah.
But like you said, the bridge, the longer scale neck. And you touched on the price point, so I want to talk about that a bit. So this is from 60s.
Yeah.
And this is, sorry, how old is this one?
This one, I think, is like, they brought these out in like 2016, 2018.
Okay, 2016,
Yeah.
2018. Okay, so what are we looking at in terms of price here?
So you can go down to the store and pick one of these up right now for like $700.
Okay.
Canadian, obviously. We're talking Canadian. We're in Canada, just for those watching outside.
Canadians.
Yeah. This guy on the used market, they tend to go for like $2,200 to $3,000 Canadian, depending on the condition and how beat up it is. Mine's got a couple of battle scars.
Which is what you want on the old guitars, right?
Maybe some people want some mint condition wrapped, still got the plastic on it thing, but that you're obviously paying a lot more for that.
True. And then one thing I also noticed is that the body's a little different on them as well.
I think they kind of made that change just to kind of complement that they made the neck a little bit bigger, going to the 24-inch. I think they even fixed that, like within the 60s they made a Duo-Sonic 2, and I think that had a few of those changes implemented right away.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Right on. Well, I think, is there anything else you want to say about these? I mean, I feel like we covered a lot of ground.
Just, if you got smaller hands, get one of these. Get them, or a Mustang or something else in like the Offset series, because there's so much cool, vibey stuff in that series. But they're just like, it's so comfortable to play, and they have a unique sound, but it still covers so much territory. Like, just, you know, Strats are awesome. Tellys, love them. You know, Jazz Masters, you know, I love those too. But just, you know, give these a shot. That's all I really want.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I want to give them a shot. I've never experienced one with them. So those are the Fender Duo-Sonics. We had one from the 60s, a newer one, Aridonis. Thank you so much for teaching me all about these guitars. I feel like I've gained a vast amount of knowledge about
Leveled
these,
up,
and that I could teach someone else about them.
I hope so.
So it's great. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and be sure to let us know which one did you like better. We would love to hear from you. But for now, that is all. Thank you so much for tuning in.